Hello, I'm Susie from Explore Norfolk UK, and I think the pier behind me will give you a good idea of where I am today. But for those of you that don't know, I'm actually in Cromer on the North Norfolk coast. Today I'm going to do a 5 mile, just over 5 mile circular walk which takes you along the beach here, up 236 steps through the cliff and up to the Cromer Lighthouse, although there is an alternative which I will also show you, along a disused railway line and into Overstrand and back along the cliffs. So there are going to be some amazing views today which will be absolutely brilliant. So here's the map of Cromer. We're going to walk along the beach and up the steps through the cliff and up to the lighthouse, and then down through the golf course, along a bit of the disused railway line and into Overstrand, and then back along the cliff. Let's get going. This is a very typical Cromer scene here. Tractor pulling a boat out of the sea. It must have been fishing, probably for crab and lobster, as Cromer is most well known for its Cromer crabs, which are deliciously sweet and actually thrive off the chalk reef which is along the North Norfolk coast. And you'll see as we walk along here all these fishing boats and old tractors. This is a big fishing community. You can see these North Norfolk beaches when the tide begins to go out. The tractor going to go and get another boat. When the tide goes out, the sand, you're left with really nice hard sand. So it's amazing what a big role these tractors have to play in this important sort of fishing town. Very busy today. Oh, it's just so good to be out by the sea. I love it. These steps we don't want. We're going to continue along here because we need to get off the promenade and walk along a little tiny bit of beach to get to the steps that I want. So walk along this pebbly shingle until we find the steps. So just keep an eye out for them on the right, but you won't miss them. Look at the coastal erosion up there. In fact, I think I'm going to walk down onto the sand. Whee! Look at that. This is beautiful. Can I straddle that, do you think? No. We've walked past about 4 groins, I think 4 wooden groins, and I can see the steps over here, easy to spot. Here they are. This is probably the most energetic you'll be today, and I think I'm about halfway out. There's a little bench there which is quite handy. Whew. And I promise you it's worth the view when you get up to the top. I'm still going. I just passed another bench, so there are a couple of places to stop on the way up. Oh, but look at that for a view. Whew. That's worth it. Not quite at the top yet though. Don't be put off by the steps though, because you can stop on the way up. You don't have to rush it. I'm nearly there. But there's the lighthouse. Really pretty at this time of year. That's the other path, the alternative path that you can take instead of coming up the steps. Excuse me if I sound exhausted. If you want a slightly less challenging way up, then you take this path and it arrives here, where we are now. I think you'll agree that that view is pretty stunning. There's Cromer Lighthouse in all its splendour with amazing views. There's always been a lighthouse on this cliff, not in this particular place here. This one was built half a mile in from the cliff face, but the coastal erosion has certainly taken its toll, and that lighthouse that you see right there is certainly not half a mile from the cliff face, that's for sure. And in 1990 it was converted to automatic operation. You can see the light turning there. There. It even has its own helipad. Not a bad walk for views. Look, there's the church, Cromer Church. We just follow this tarmac road down to the clubhouse and out onto the main road. This will be the noisiest bit of the walk, as it's really the main coastal road from Cromer to Munsley. You need to get to the brow of the hill. You'll see the path here just after this Cromer sign that we've passed, and this will take us down to the disused railway. So we've finally made it onto where we should be going, and we're going to go left along here. This is the disused railway, which actually was the Norfolk and Suffolk Joint Railway, and it went from Cromer through Overstrand, Trimmingham, the little villages, Munsley, and all the way to North Walsham. There's a little fork in the paths. One goes up to campsite, just to the right, I think. We're going to take this left-hand one. Head towards this little gate. And we join this little lane, takes us into Overstrand. There's an old bridge from the railway. Literally just after the church, we're going to bear left through this little alleyway and the public footpath sign. Well, if anyone knows what those are, let me know in the comments below. So at the end of this track, we now just walk straight ahead until we come to a car park on the left. There's the sea ahead of you. That's the car park. And we're going to go off to that far left-hand corner, because that'll take us back along the cliffs all the way to Cromer. If you continue just along this bend here to the right, there's a little cafe where you can have a nice cup of tea, refreshments, called Clifftop Cafe. This is a really nice little stopover. There's a couple of benches here and nice breeze from the top of the cliffs with the sea behind down below. So this is the left-hand far corner of Overstrand car park, which we now follow. And we've got a nice cliff walk and along the golf course. Wow. Now, coastal erosion, here's a perfect example. But look at that view, all the way to Cromer. Oh, beautiful. You could walk back along the beach actually if you want, but we're going to do this coastal cliff walk. So there you can see Cromer Pier in the distance. Oh, there's a bench. I'm going to sit on this bench. Not bad for a view in Norfolk. And who said Norfolk was flat? Well, I suppose it is fairly flat. Afternoon. So, Royal Cromer Golf Club. This is a permissive path courtesy of the club. Beware of injury from golf balls. Oh, look, Cromer Pier. And there's the lighthouse. So we're now back at Cromer Lighthouse. A slight incline that was, but not too bad. And if you've enjoyed this walk, then let me know about it in the comments, or give me a thumbs up, a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you can visit the website where, incidentally, this walk is, there are more details on this walk on the website, Explore Norfolk UK, along with a downloadable map, which is always helpful. Now we're on the golf course again, got a little bit further actually to the lighthouse, walking on this sort of astroturf type path, heading towards Cromer, where there are lots of refreshments, places to go and get something to eat. Cromer, of course, well known for its Cromer crabs, lovely sweet juicy crabs, which I'm hoping that I might be able to find some when I get there. Oh yes. The lighthouse coming into view. I'm going to go back down the hill from the lighthouse towards Cromer. That is the path that takes you down to the steps, which we're not going to do. So I'm now going to do the alternative route that you can come up on as well if you want to miss the steps, which just takes you down this well-trodden track. So as I said earlier, this is the alternative path that you can take rather than taking all those steps. Slightly easier. And there's Cromer Church in front of you, and it has the tallest church tower in Norfolk, and actually you can go up it in the summer months. Now you can either go right and back down onto the promenade, where you can see all the tractors are back now, having pulled up all their boats. But I'm going to carry on so that you can see the beginning of the alternative path. And here's a bust of Henry Blogg. So Henry Blogg was the most decorated RNLI lifeboat man in history, so you can see really why Cromer has a soft spot for him. Believe it or not, his first trip out to sea as a lifeboatman in 1894 was in a rowing boat. And he consequently served 53 years as a lifeboatman, and from 1909 to 1947 as the coxswain in Cromer. This is where the alternative path can start from. It's actually the trail of the Norfolk Coast Path too. So when you were down at the bottom there, you need to walk up this hill and then just bear left along there. And that'll take you all the way up to the lighthouse. So that's the end of the Cromer Lighthouse Circular Walk. I hope you've enjoyed it. It was just under 5 miles, and if you've enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up, a like on the YouTube channel, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next trip. So I found my Cromer crab.